Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to predict who I think is going to win the Super Bowl and the key matchups that involves this Sunday's game. So without further ado, we will start on the Kansas City side. The Kansas City Chiefs season lost to date, inconsistent to say the least, but turned it on when they needed to. Regular season, they lost their identity on the offense. There were a lot of drop passes. There was talk of as Kelsey lost a step. What wide receivers can Pat Mahomes trust? The resurgence of Rashid Rice. He's going to be a fantastic player for years to come. There was really nobody else he could trust. He was getting sacked a lot. There were loads of penalties. Wasn't a great time for the offense. And Steve Spagnuolo deserves a lot of credit for where they are right now. Their defense has been fantastic and has bailed them out from a Kansas City team that we know relies heavily, mostly on offense. It has been flipped this year where the defense has got them out of a lot of trouble. And then Pat Mahomes just being able to do the bare minimum in order to win games. They won the group, they finished third seed overall, and they did have chances throughout the season to get that number one seed, but they lost a couple of games in a row and they lost the momentum. My other concern for the Kansas City Chiefs is their ability to turn red zone possession into touchdowns. There are a lot of field goals throughout the season for Kansas. They just couldn't get the touchdowns. Getting down the field seemed to be at ease at times, but then they seem to get stuck in the red zone and conceded for a few field goals. So, but they're in the Super Bowl. The playoff run wasn't easy. They hosted Miami in the first round, the wild card round, won that with ease. They had to go to Buffalo away. This is where people say, well, no, this is the furthest they're going to get. Took care of Josh Allen and crew. Get to the AFC Championship game. This is the furthest they're going to get. It's Kansas City. No, Baltimore, Jamar Jackson's going to run over and the defense is going to destroy him. It was a one-sided game. Shut Lamar Jackson down. They scored early, and then they just run the clock out. The Kansas City Chiefs are once again back in the Super Bowl. Key players for them will be Travis Kelce, the resurgence of Travis Kelce this year. There was talk again of the decline as he lost a step. Him and Pat Mahomes once again connected, especially on them crucial third downs. He's looking at his man Kelce, and he's been finding him. Rashid Rice is a fantastic prospect for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're looking really dominant when he's on his routes. He's been able to get separation, and it's been a real help for Patrick Mahomes when he sees Kelce getting double teamed. Where's that Rashid Rice? Oh, there he is, bang. He gets him those yards, gets those first downs, gets those touchdowns, and he's sure going to be a big player for Kansas in years to come. And obviously we've got Pacheco, the guy runs very hard. He's on the hardest running back this year. He runs at anger, and he just doesn't give up on his routes. He doesn't give up on his runs. He's fantastic. He's enjoyable to watch. And obviously with Patrick Mahomes being the quarterback, the Kansas City Chiefs are ticking at the right time. And once again, they're outsiders this game. But one thing I've always learned, never back against Kansas in the playoffs. We now move on to the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers, I gathered how I felt at the start of the season as they were the favourites to win the Super Bowl. They've got so much talent on their offense and defensive side. I just feel they're an all-rounded Super Bowl contender. Like they're just their team set to win. And they are in the Super Bowl, but it hasn't come with ease. I'm going to go quickly run through the regular season. They won the first few, I can't remember exactly, won the first 4 or 5 games, and then they lost 3 in a row. And then they had that bye week. Then they come back, got it all sorted again. They did lose to Baltimore on Christmas Day, though, I believe. But other than that, they got the number 1 seed in the NFC. And they look like a real threat on both sides of the ball. They get the bye week in the playoffs. They come into the divisional rounds, and Green Bay let them off the hook. Green Bay should have won that. They were lucky to get through that. Okay, so they survived that scare. We move on to the next game. Detroit was 17 points up on them at halftime. 17. But they managed to come back, win the game. But they've had scares along the way, but they're in the Super Bowl. Does that come at a good price for them? Does that give them that sort of good stead to know that if they're behind, they can claw it back? Yes, I'm sure they do, but Kansas City is a different beast. San Francisco's weapons, we know what they've got. Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the league. He's great with rushing. He's great with receiving. An all dual threat. He's going to have Kansas defense going to have their work cut out trying to stop him. They've got Brandon Ayuk. He's a fantastic wide receiver. He's come on leaps and bounds the last couple of seasons. And for me, the biggest playmaker for San Fran, who I feel, yes, you can disagree with me, but when Deebo Samuel's on that field, they're a bigger threat because he attracts so much attention with his speed, being able to run the ball, being able to receive the ball, being able to get separation. Without him on that field, they can then shut the run up with McCaffrey. They can double team Ayuk. Deebo Samuel for me is their X factor. They've got great tight end, blocking tight end, and Kittle, who's very capable of catching balls, tight and touchdowns in the red zone. They're a real threat on offense. They've got some really, really good weapons. The defense isn't too bad either. I'm a bit concerned with the defense in the playoffs. It seemed to be that Green Bay and Detroit were able to go downfield at ease and especially run on them with ease. So could we be looking at Pacheco having a good game? I don't know. We shall see. But this is going to be a very, very, very interesting encounter. I'm a bit surprised that San Fran are favourites, but I get why. And I just feel the key matchup is going to be if one, San Fran can sustain the run with McCaffrey, and secondly, can San Fran stop the run with Pacheco? But if they manage to do that, they've got to deal with Patrick Mahomes. So you look at that, Kelsey, Rashid Rice. This is a very, very, very intriguing encounter. Kansas City have got to look out. Can they stop the run? Can they limit McCaffrey to as many yards as they can? Can they stop him coming out of the backfield? Can they double team Deebo Samuel? There's going to be a lot of chess in this game, and it's going to be exciting to watch. I think it's very evenly matched, but my prediction will be the final score of the Super Bowl in Las Vegas will be Kansas City 34, San Francisco 28. Yep, Kansas City are going to win a close encounter. And I feel that Pat Mahomes is just going to have that little bit more than Purdy. I feel he's going to do himself proud. Purdy will do himself proud. But I just feel that Pat Mahomes, just that one extra drive, will get the job done. Kansas City Chiefs will win this Super Bowl once again. The dynasty will continue. Don't bet against Kansas. I've been burned before and I'm not doing it again. Final score in a close encounter, but thrilling end to end. Kansas City 34, San Francisco 28.